Hey everybody, Laura St. John here from Strong Confident Living with an important broadcast about Breakthrough Week and do you hold yourself back from your own success? I'm going to give you the number one pitfall that most of us literally put up an invisible wall and block ourselves from a lot of success and happiness. So thanks for being here. See if this resonates with you and if it's part of something that you're kind of caught in the process of doing that's holding you back from your next breakthrough. And this is how you change it. So welcome in. Thanks for being here. We are a lifestyle community of fitness, nutrition, and mindset. We weave those three things together to turn up lives. We call it the up spiral. That's why I'm going like this every single day. So thanks for joining the community. Thanks for spreading these videos, hitting the share button when you feel inspired. That's why we do what we do. We're in a 6-week challenge right now where we've gone through, tools for success. We've gone through attitude and willpower and transformation. And now you are at the wall, ready to break through. You've been climbing and climbing and climbing. Hey, Gina. All right, so you guys have been climbing all of these weeks with us. And I'm gonna share with you a really common pitfall and then 3 steps to get out of this pitfall. Okay, the most common pitfall when you are reaching success, when you are reaching your next breakthrough and it feels really hard sometimes, is because it is like the final dip of resistance and it feels like you're slowing down because you're getting to the wall. And what happens is that you feel like the goal's on the other side and you're separating yourself from happiness because you're like, when I'm over there is when I'll be happy. And what you actually do, what most people do, and I used to do this too, is say, when I hit this goal, I actually use the word crush and I crossed it out because I always say, crush your goals, crush them here. It's Strong Confident Living. It's what we do. We love to help people crush their goals. But I always thought it was like, well, when I get here, it's like my next wall. And when I overcome it and when I crush it, then I'll be happy. Then I'll have this goal and then I'll be happy. So especially if you're a goal setter type of person, the number one pitfall is that most people do not allow themselves, okay, I'm gonna say that again. Most people do not allow themselves to feel happy until they've reached their goal. Okay, it's like you're putting up, I call it like a fence around yourself saying, no, I can't feel happy yet because I'm such a goal setter that if I'm not there right now, I mustn't be allowing myself to feel happy because when I get to that goal is when I'll be happy, right? And so most people know that when you are setting a goal, and we were on these 6-week challenges, that it's part of the tools, guys. In the beginning, it's like set the goal bigger, set it even really big, right? So to the point it might make you get goosebumps. That's an important tool in the beginning of the process because that fuels the desire to climb the hill, right? That fuels you to say, I want change in my life. So what's my goal? I need a clear trajectory towards where I am going. That is an important part. And then most people do know that they're supposed to feel hardship along the way. You're supposed to feel the dips and the struggles and sometimes stuckness. And that's why we're doing Breakthrough Week, where sometimes we go through motivation. And, can you look outside yourself and find motivation to get yourself out when you're feeling these divots and stuck? And then you continue up the hill. But now that you are approaching your goal, it is really common to feel like things could be slowing down or plateauing, or going in the wrong direction if you're actually stuck in the final divot, okay, of approaching your goal. And that it actually can almost make the goal feel further away. So that's what we see. And I'm gonna now walk you through how to get out of it. Because when you hit this plateau-y feeling where you're like, I'm not allowing myself to feel happy and it feels far away, so therefore I'm giving all the power to the goal. And I'm saying, I'm not there. I'm giving all the power to the happiness when I receive the goal. I'm giving all the power away to the struggle. And what we're gonna do in this broadcast is we're gonna take the power back. Because as soon as you say, because I'm not here, it must be this thing that's not making me happy. It must be this relationship. It must be this guy or girl. It must be, this experience. It must be this business that's not making me happy. It's because you're actually right here. Okay, you're actually right here, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. But it's totally normal to know that you're just being hard on yourself. You're just really being hard on yourself, and you're putting the fences up like all around you saying, I'm not allowed to be happy right now. I can't, I was told it's supposed to be hard, but I wasn't told it was also supposed to feel a little bit good along the way. Okay? No one tells you that, especially for the goal setters. No one tells you, well, along the way, you should also feel really good at times. You think it has to be hard all the time. A lot of people. So I'm going to give you 3 quick steps to walk yourself out of this stuckedness, right? Because you don't want to stay here, and we don't want you to tumble back down the hill and think that you need to start something over. Okay, there's no reason to. You're on this healthy journey, and here's the 3 steps. Number 1, take notice of the small wins. If you can't find them in yourself, look to the community and find them in people who are similar to you. I love, like, for example, the non-scale victories that are being posted right now. Dennis and his new shoes. Amazing. Jennifer Barker and recognizing that she can have gelato with her girl, or she can, enjoy wine and sunsets with her mom and not feel a power struggle. Okay, maybe she's at her end goal, maybe she's not at her end goal, but you take notice that there are wins, small wins and big wins along the way. That is the number 1 thing to get yourself out of holding yourself up into the pitfall before you break through. Okay, so you have to now, because you have a different perspective, you guys on this 6-week journey with us have been here. Okay, so now you're here, and maybe you're feeling here. I know I was feeling here. I'm like, shoot, it must be breakthrough week. I am having crazy resistance like a couple days ago. Okay, I'm just feeling it. So I'm like, I must be about to break through, and boom, I feel amazing. Okay, so anyway, but I know this feeling, and we all get there. So when you're there, you have to just put your head outside of that little hole and look down at the hill and be like, well, this actually happened and that feels good. And this happened and that feels good. I was able to go out to dinner and not have all the appetizers. That feels really good. So what you need to do is, if you can't find your own little wins because you're being so hard on yourself about what success means to you, then you need to look outside. And celebrate Laren, celebrate Aaron, celebrate Maya, going for a run, celebrate Angela, right? Like saying, it used to just be for my son, but now it's like for me in this journey. Like, that was beautiful. Okay, so start to peek outside, and you have that fresh perspective to start looking at all these different things that have happened to you so far. Not just the bad stuff, not just the struggles along the way. Oh, those were meant for you too. But for the successes along the way that were meant to say, hey, you're getting better at this. Hey, you're still learning, but you're getting better. That's actually my favorite thing now to say to myself, like, kind of screwed up, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Because then what you recognize is you had little doors along this whole trajectory, and there will be more, because there's always another level. Okay, but you've had little doors that you've walked through, or that have opened for you, or that you've tried to crush open along this entire journey. So that's the first step, taking notice of these small wins in others if you can't find them for yourself, until you can find them for yourself. Okay, then the second thing is, that changes your thought process, but you have to go deeper. And the second step is access the feeling right now in present tense of what you've accomplished. Like, not future tense, because what, again, screws up people is when I feel that I've lost the 20 pounds, I can be happy. When I'm skinny and I fit in my skinny jeans, I can feel happy. When I get to this milestone in my isogenics, I can be happy. And until then, I'm not gonna allow myself to, because too strict on my goals. So that's why you have to recognize these things now and be like, well, I lost 5 pounds there. Or, hey, one of my rock stars started exploding their business here. Or, you know what, you have to recognize all these little steps, but you have to access the feeling. So after you take notice, badass bosses that take the control back, that take the power back from the struggle, take the power back from the external things that you think are the answer. Recognize when you couple 1 and 2 together, when you couple step 1, which is taking notice, with step 2, which is accessing, saying, this actually made me feel happy right here when I lost 5 pounds. It felt really good. It made me feel really happy here when Emily stepped up and started, mentoring a whole group of people. It made me feel happy when I felt these things happening. And you can own that. And that awareness of being happy in those littler moments are the juicy sauce. Okay, that's what will help swing the door open. Because when you can look back from here and see that those successes and those struggles were your doors the whole time, it doesn't make this big door to your big goal as daunting. Okay, it just doesn't. Because you're gonna know that was just now, even though you made it big, there's gonna be another one here and here and here and here that is even bigger, because there's never ending growth for you. There's no end and no beginning, even though we say it's a 6-week challenge. And that's where some of these non-scale victories for me get so exciting. Okay, so those are 1 and 2. Number 3 is because you're taking the control back, because you're taking the power back now in your journey, and you're recognizing like, oh, slap my face, don't beat myself up, but an aha moment. I was being really hard on myself. Success and struggles are always gonna be part of our journeys, always. They're never gonna go away, right? It's just how we react to them, how we deal with them, how we get boss of them and not let them control us. Then number 3 is you now have taken the power back. Take it back a little more and tighten things up. This is where you go back to the tools and say, simple 6, where have you been? You know, I used you the first 2 weeks of the challenge, but I'm gonna tighten that up. Or you know what, instead of not having like 2 scoops of sugar in my coffee, I don't know if I'm gonna just go down to now 1 scoop or no scoops of sugar in your coffee. This is where when at the beginning you were like, oh, can't do that, okay? Can't cut sugar out of my coffee, or can't, really legit follow the simple 6 meal plan 7 days in a row, or can't, this is where you take some of the can'ts you may have initially put on your list of like non-negotiable, and you say, because I'm here now and I can recognize and feel my wins along the way and take that power back, what can I do to tighten things up in the last 2 weeks of this challenge that I'm gonna carry forward to the next doors as we continue to grow together, right? So recognize that. What can you notch up on the thermostat today? A little bit warmer for yourself, okay? And say, I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly getting better, stop beating myself up, let me look at these wins, let me feel these wins, let me celebrate myself more, and what do I wanna tighten up? Tightening up then, because you've filled these potholes, I call them the potholes that you got to fill with love and not doubt, or not like beating yourself up and negativity. Once you start looking at this new perspective and you start realizing all these things were for you along the way, you stop beating yourself up, and then you can tighten things up and you recognize there's still going to be more little divots and more doors and all that fun stuff. So guys, what are you tightening up for the rest of this week and next week? Okay, what are you tightening up? What can you do that you didn't think you could do a couple weeks ago? And yes, you can make a second shake. Awesome, right? You can maybe meal prep a little bit more for this week. You can, carve 15 minutes out for a worldwide workout. Just be proactive and be boss of yourself. Tighten something up within your goals. Okay, and then know that happiness does not exist here. It existed all along. Love you guys. That is breakthrough. The moment you can access the feeling of success at any given moment, in the smallest of moments, something that made you smile, that is what makes these doors swing open over and over and over again, and will put you in the flow of success instead of you falling in your own pitfall of not allowing the success to be felt because you were putting so much emphasis on that end game. Guys, love you. Have an amazing day.